Can one god-boosted hero beat a boss by itself? Now, the goal for today is going to be trying to beat the normal Blast the Populace. So we're going for the normal one because obviously the elite has a lot of HP. But don't get me wrong, the normal one has a lot of HP as well. It's in the millions actually for the tier 5. We are going to be using Captain Churchill because I think that's probably the obvious choice. Although if this works with Churchill, we can try it with some other hero down the line. But we're going to be over buffing Churchill. I mean everything that you can think of under the sun. So maybe, you know, god boosting is going to be like a light term for what we're about to do. I'm talking the Desperados, I'm talking the Sun Temple, Overclocks, the Village. I'm even going to pull out the Sub Paragon, which I'm not sure if you guys know, but the Sub Paragon actually buffs heroes as well. So basically everything the BT6 has to offer as a buff to a hero, we're going to buy it in this game, and we're going to see if it's enough to basically solo a boss with a hero. Now we do need a little bit of a longer map for this one, so let's have the sub like this, by the way. And I'm kind of thinking about the placements in the future. So this is going to be the Sub Paragon. It's going to be a submerged one, by the way, so it's not going to be taking away a lot of pops. And then we have to kind of try and balance out when we're buying Churchill with the early game farming, because I am concerned if the damage is going to be enough, especially for the early tiers, until we can get our farming up and running. Alright, but this is going to be the last one. So this is my third 200 farm, and after this one, I'm just going to go for Churchill because it's getting a little bit late. So it's going to be around 18, and then by the time we buy him, it's going to be like, what, in the 20s maybe? Yeah, so around 20 it seems like it's going to be when we buy Captain Churchill. I also want to have him like here in the middle, just below the sub, so that the Energizer aura is going to be able to affect them. But also, we're playing Blast the Populace, and Blasty reduces the range of our towers, so that's going to be very important. I think I'm going to have him like this. Is this going to be fine? I think it is. I know it might look like a weird placement, but we're going to be buying the Desperado later down the line. We're going to have a lot of range buffs, so he is actually going to be able to see the entirety of the map. And this should be possible, right? Or at least it should be kind of close if it's not possible, because the hero that I chose is Blast the Populace, and I chose him for a very specific reason, by the way. It's because he doesn't summon any small balloons. But hey, if this thing works, I'm very open to doing basically whatever, because this is going to be our sort of a test run. I wouldn't mind attempting this with some other hero, like Quincy, for example. So this is going to be the last farm. It's around 37, so I'm going to get this thing going up to 0 to 3. We have 6 marketplaces. Churchill is level 6. Alright, so if we can get to level 7 before round 40, I guess that's going to be about the max for the tier 1. One of the towers I would like to buy is likely going to be... what are we getting? I think we can go for a discount village and keep it on the screen, so we should be buying 2 villages actually. The first one is going to be a 202, then the second one is going to be a mid-path village for the ability, but we cannot buy that right now, and actually I wouldn't even want to buy it. So tier 1 is incoming, 17.5k HP, level 7 with Captain Churchill. What else are we missing, guys? We could probably do an alchemist. Let's actually have an alchemist like this in the range of the discount village. And how much money do we want to spend? 320? Is this a little bit too stingy for the tier 1? Let's keep it like this, because I would want to reinvest the money as much as possible. We could also get a little bit of damage amplification now that I think about this, so let's go for something like an ice in the range of the discount village. Oh, can we have it in the range of the discount but not in the range of the alchemist? I think I found it. Yes, there we go. Go like this. This is gonna be a 401, just like the +1 damage. How's the damage looking actually? It's not looking too bad, I'm gonna be honest. We have like 14,000, which I'm gonna invest in a central market, and I think there's no point in activating the level 3 ability, right? Because it was, well, let me read it. It's like a bonus damage to ceramic balloons, yeah, and it allows it to pop black balloons, but the boss is not a black balloon, so this doesn't actually matter. Alright, so let's go like this. Let me buy a central market. We're gonna keep farming, and so far, I mean, the setup seems to be kind of doing it, I think, right? This is a very stingy tier 1. I mean, I only have the boss, like an alchemist, the village, and then I barely got myself to spend like a little bit of extra cash on the ice. You guys know what? He's actually gonna do it. This is the last call and like one more HP bar remaining. I mean, the only thing is that it's kind of slow, so it's around 47, and this could have obviously been going a lot faster. But you know what? I'm actually not complaining. There we go, tier 1 getting dubbed by Churchill. I mean, Churchill is one of those heroes, right, that has a lot of attack damage, so this is maybe even a little bit expected for a tier 1, but there it is. He actually deals with the tier 1. You know what's kind of funny? After you defeat the tier 1 boss, you usually sell the setup and then you reinvest the money, but there is nothing to sell. I mean, I guess we could sell this ice. Yeah, let's sell the ice and then let's reinvest the money. So it's gonna be central markets, and then one of these guys is going to become likely a banana central now that I think about this, although I did not buy the Minneapolis. Should we do that? Maybe not the Minneapolis, but let's go for the Monkey City, and then we're gonna have another farming sub here on the top right corner, and we can make that guy the Minneapolis. But for now, I think we're just gonna be buying central markets, and then one of these guys is gonna have to become a banana central pretty soonish. And we should likely go for the second village now that I think about this. So let's go like this. I should have bought the discount village, by the way, before buying the overclock, but it's fine. Let's go like this, get the MIB, and it's around 59, and think here's what we're gonna be doing. Get the call to arms. We have the overclock. I'm gonna upgrade this alchemist to the stronger stem, and let's try it like this. And if this doesn't work, then maybe we can add some other towers, maybe like some more damage amplification or whatnot. Actually, we can add a Desperado right now. So let's go like this. Let's get the Deadeye. So don't want to spend too much cash because 7.6 is a little bit too much at this point. And let's use the overclock. I'm gonna use the overclock on Churchill. I'm gonna use the Tech Bot for the overclock, and then is he attacking the boss actually? He is not. Let's give him the extra range and now use the call to arms to see how much damage we're doing. So how is this looking in comparison to the last one? I mean, when we use all the abilities, it seems like it's kind of the same tempo, but what happens when the abilities are out? Yeah, this is definitely gonna be a little bit slower than last time. I mean, do we have the damage? It seems like we do. I don't want to jinx it. Let's do one more call to arms. Maybe another thing we could do is actually go for the Energizer sub, because it's gonna help Churchill level up a little bit faster. Alright, so call number 1. This is round 62. We have about $37,000. So we can do a couple of things with this cash, but let's just chill for a second. We can actually buy level 10. You guys know what? I'm actually gonna buy it. Yeah, let's buy this level so we get the level 10 ability. Let's see how much damage each rocket is gonna do. Maybe this is gonna be useful. Get the extra range. The overclock is up, and we're gonna have the call to arms up and running as well. So you guys know what? Let's actually use the abilities. Let's go like this. I'm even gonna use the level 3, which it doesn't do too much, but I'm gonna use it. And then let's dump the level 10 ability, see how much damage it does. Yeah, you can definitely see each rocket take a little bit of HP from the boss. So this is not even that bad, I don't think. Oh yeah, that was great. We need to use this ability a lot more. So I think this is the green light to do this. Get the Energizer. I think we want to get it a little bit earlier so we get the levels up on Churchill a little bit earlier, and then we can dish out a lot more abilities. So this is going to be nice for the call to arms as well. So 2 skulls down, or I should say 2 HP bars down at this point. About 60% of the way left to go. Let's use all these abilities. I'm just dumping everything. I know the level 3 doesn't do anything. We're going to have another level 10. Let's use it, see how much damage it's going to do. So the HP bar is at about here, and then when the ability ends, I mean, we're doing a lot of damage with Churchill as well, but that was a very decent ability. That's like almost half an HP bar. Okay, you guys know what? We're a little bit behind on farming, so I'm going to use the level 10 ability. There are a couple of mob class balloons on the field, by the way, so the missiles get scattered between all of them. So if we're using it, we should be careful that there are no other mob class balloons on the field. Let's give it the Desperado ability so you can see the boss, and then use the call to arms. And then here on the side, I'm actually going to make, let's go like this. We can do like 2 discount villages. It's fine. Let's make the Minneapolis, and then let's start farming. We need a couple of 420 farms up and running. Yeah, there we go. So the tier 2 is about to get popped. This is a by the way, very lengthy tier 2, but we get it done. So we actually have a couple of things to sell after this boss, not like the tier 1. I'm gonna sell the call to arms. Is gonna be about 20k. Do we sell the overclock? No, but we can actually repurpose it. So let's disconnect it. I'm gonna sell the Desperado for like 2k. It's fine. Let me rebuy a couple of these guys. So let's buy a couple of BRFs, and then make sure we're overclocking one of them, and then one of them is gonna become the Banana Central. And then what is the plan for the tier 3? I'm thinking we're probably gonna need to get an Ultra Boost plus some damage amplification at this point, because this boss had like 65k HP, and the next one is gonna have like what, 300k or something like that. By the way, I know that the order of farming is not great, but our money needs are really not big in a round like this. I mean, it's just Churchill. There are no paragons, there are no, you know, like special buffs going around. It's just gonna be a handful of towers, so that's why I'm not exactly concerned for it. But for the tier 3, we're gonna have to go a little bit harder than the previous one. So here's the plan. Let's go for a full home. Actually, you know what? Before buying the whole land, let's save a little bit of cash and buy the Ultra Boost first. Alright, so in comes the tier 3, and this guy has 300k on the dot. I just got this thing, so we're currently sitting at, well, 0 stacks, but we're level 14, so this Energizer is doing a little bit of work. Now let's go like this. So let's use the level 10 ability, combine it with the homeland. Let's see how much damage we're doing right now. This is obviously the slowest out of everything, but we have a long way to go with the buffs. Alright, so let me start off by buying the Permabrew. We have 2 very fast attacking weapons, so this is gonna go really hard. Let's, by the way, dump both of the abilities. Let's buy some damage amplification towers. Actually, let's go like this. I'm gonna have an ice, and I really want to have it like inside, because he's gonna start spawning these rocks around him. This time around, we're going full tier 5. We're going for the super build. This is gonna be some nice damage amplification. And then what else are we going for? Like maybe the glue? Actually, go like this. Go for a 250. How's everything looking? That's the first call. Alright, so we're starting to do a little bit of damage for sure. And by the way, it's still a huge way to go in terms of these buffs, so we can get the sub paragon plus a, I was thinking just stopping at the Sun Temple. I don't want to get the VTSG, because even though it's going to be a support one, it's still going to do some damage, at least a lot more than the Temple to the boss, and we don't want that happening. Alright, so about halfway there. It's round 84. The rounds are not going as fast, and the HP is quite literally the half point. Let's use the homeland. Do we have anything to combine it with? Nope, not as of yet, but let me check the stacks. It is at 7 Ultra Boost stacks. That's great. Let's do one more Glue Storm, and this is going to be the last skull. And guys, he is actually doing it. Like, this is the tier 3. The buffs are starting to get online. You know, these permanent buffs like the Perma Brew and the Ultra Boost, and maybe even the Energizer Sub, which is going to be nice not only for leveling but for the cooldowns. Yeah, definitely, we're getting some things online now for sure. Let's go like this. Start dumping these abilities. As soon as the homeland ends, I'm watching the animation, so I'm going to use the Call to Arms in combination with the Glue Storm, and this is probably going to be the last round of abilities. There we go. Yep, I'm telling you guys, this guy might actually do it. So there we go. We get the tier 3 done. Keep in mind, we have a couple more damage amplification towers to go, so we can get the Cripple Moab Sniper, and then really, if we wanted to, we can dump like an Embrillement Ice, which does stack with the Super Brill. And honestly, let me just dump a couple more farms while we're waiting for the tier 4 boss. This is going to be just like a couple of 4-2-0s on the side, just as we normally do. It's definitely possible. I can feel it. I can feel that this thing can actually happen. Let's start getting ready for the Sub Paragon. I'm gonna buy the other tier 5s here down below. Let's go like this. So for the tier 4, I guess the novelty that we're gonna have is gonna be the Sub Paragon. I'm just gonna buy this thing right now. We're gonna make sure that it's submerged so it doesn't exactly do a lot of damage. Plus, it only gives the aura if it's submerged. There we go. So we get both of the buffs. And I think we can improve on the setup a little bit. So maybe move the Super Brill. Let me sell it actually because the money's doing fine. I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna have it like here towards the middle a little bit more. We can also do something like this, I guess, give it a little extra range and attack speed. Yeah, there we go. And even though it doesn't look like much, I think this Sub Paragon is gonna be a huge damage boost. Hey, 2 million pops, look at this thing. Round 99, we get the 2 mega pops with Churchill. Alright, now let's see if this guy can beat the tier 4. This one, things are getting beefy, guys, for sure. 650k HP. Yup, this is starting to get tricky. Alright, so let's start dumping these abilities. Let's go for the homeland, the level 10 ability, and just basically dump everything except the Call to Arms, which we're gonna... Oh my god, this is the fastest that we've had it so far, right? Wait a minute, what is even happening? Is this sub buff that good? There goes like the first call, the boss just appeared. What? Okay, this sub buff is nuts. It gives it 6 times damage, but it reduces the attack speed, but it doesn't seem to matter because damage seems to be the thing that this guy likes, and especially because I think it would work on both weapons, right? And the machine gun is attacking like really fast, so this is just like so much damage. Look at what's happening. This is like tier 4, which is the hardest one that we had so far, and it's going the fastest. Yeah, let's go like this. Let me use the Desperado ability, go for the Call to Arms. We don't even have the sniper yet, so let's actually buy this. Do we even need the sniper? I don't think we need it, guys. Let's just buy it for the tier 5, I guess. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. Look at how much damage he's doing to this boss. This is the tier 4, so we are melting the tier 4 for sure, and we're gonna get the, I guess we're gonna get the beat on the tier 4. I guess the tier 5 is gonna be the main problem, right? Because that thing is gonna have, I think, over 3 million HP. So yeah, like 5x from what we have right now. Yeah, that's gonna be no joke. Let's use the ability. That's a very fast pop. Definitely the fastest one that we had so far. So this Sub Paragon is actually doing a lot of work, it seems like. And you know what's also good? Just let me show you guys the pops on this thing. It's like 70k. This is nothing. Like, this is proof that these other towers are not exactly taking pops, and it's Churchill that's doing the majority of the work. Look at this thing, 3.7 million pops, and if you guys remember, we started with like 2 mega pops at like round 99. So he is the one that's doing like 90+%, if not more, of the total damage. Alright, so a couple more towers to buy. The setup is, believe it or not, still not even close to complete. So one of the things that we have to buy for a huge damage boost is going to be the Sun Temple, but because Blast the Populace reduces the range of towers, so I want to have it a little bit closer. Now, if I have it like this, it's gonna absorb basically a bunch of towers. So here's what we're gonna do. We don't want this temple absorbing anything except support towers. So I'm actually gonna sell the Perma Brew. I'm gonna sell the Desperado. I'm gonna upgrade this guy to a primary expertise, which I think is gonna get absorbed. And if I'm correct, the glue is gonna remain. So let's actually try and go like this. Yeah, there we go. That's very good. Buy the range upgrades, and now I'm gonna rebuy basically all these towers that we absorbed. Okay, so let's have the final harmonic like this. This thing gives, well, it says it expires nearby heroes with improved range and cooldowns, and magic monkeys get extra pierce. And I think the number is 10% if I remember correctly. Like, it's gonna be 10% cooldowns, but that's fine because it's gonna stack with the Energizer. I mean, now that I think of this, we could probably get a Lord of the Abyss, which is gonna give us a little bit extra pierce. And you guys know what? Just for completionist's sake, we are gonna buy it. But let's have it in the war so it has a little bit more range. So go like this. Let me just check. Yeah, there we go. We get the Lord of the Abyss buff as well. And we're going to round 120 with about, well, closer to like 9 million pops on Churchill. Let me just check the other towers. This thing is, yeah, look at this. He's barely doing any pops. And this is exactly what you want to see. Let me just check the sub as well. The sub has gotten like 10k pops since the last time we checked. So yeah, it's only going to be Churchill doing the damage. But the boss, oh, the boss is sitting at 3 million HP. Okay, let me just buy the other Desperados. Now I'm going to buy 2 of these guys actually for 100% uptime. You know what? Let's actually have in the range of the primary mentoring, so we get the extra cooldown reduction. And let's go. Let's start dumping these abilities. So let's get the Desperado ability as well. What else are we missing? The level 10 one. Sure, I'm going to dump the level 3 ability as well. Oh, and definitely you can see that this one is going a little bit slower. Yeah. Is this the slowest out of anyone now that I look at this thing? Probably. I mean, maybe the what was the, it was the tier 3 that was, you know, the damage was like barely going, but then eventually as we bought the perma brew and everything, it kind of started going up. Yeah, I think it was a tier 3. So this is looking a little bit on par, if not even slower than the tier 3. The only difference is that we have nothing else to... Oh, that's not correct. We can add one more tower actually. We can add the cripple moab. Yep, I almost forgot about this thing. Let's go like this, keeping us strong. All right, keep everything going. So the homeland is about to expire. I'm going to combine with the call to arms next, and the glue storm is ongoing. How is this looking, guys? I think it's looking great. Let's give it a little bit of extra range. I mean, he can still see it, but it's like, look at this thing. This is like global range. The damage is not even too bad, guys. I'm gonna be honest. He looks like he's gonna do it. The question is, I guess, when, and are we, like, we're not gonna lose to the rounds, right? I mean, these guys are going a little bit faster than the previous. He's round 123, but I actually think he has this one. All right, so let's check the pops and some other towers. This thing is at half a milli. Let's actually set it on last, so it's only attacking these balloons because the boss is gonna be the one that's first, essentially, so it's not targeting it. And Churchill's sitting at 12 million pops, and we started with 9, I believe. So this is pretty consistent with Churchill doing like the majority of the damage for sure, although he is attacking the other balloons as well. Let's go like this, give it the Desperado ability, but no, there's a rock blocking the placements. Let's go like this, and it's actually gonna do it, guys. 700k HP left. This is gonna be the last call. I'm just dumping all these abilities. The homeland has ended, so let's use the call to arms. I'm gonna use the Desperado ability because why not? But yeah, I think we are actually gonna do it with Captain Churchill. I mean, we should do a pop count check, by the way, at the end, just to see how many pops each of these towers got. There's a lot of peers, and by the way, this Sun Temple is actually getting buffed by a perma brew plus a village, so it's doing some damage for sure. Let's go like this. This is likely going to be our last ability round, so dump the level 10 ability as soon as the homeland ends. So we can do another Desperado ability, so let's use it. The homeland is going to end in a second, so let's use the call to arms, combine it with the glue storm, and guys, this is going to be it. He actually did it. Captain Churchill. Let me use the level 3 ability, which really does anything, but yeah, he is actually going to beat an entire normal boss almost by himself. Actually, the boss popped like, I want to say 60% into the track. So even if like all these towers were not attacking and helping out a little bit, I think he still has it, right? Like this was not even going to be close. Let me just check the pops on everyone. About them, yeah, about 1 million pops in this thing, but keep in mind there were a lot of small balloons on this one. The sub sitting at 350k, I don't think that this is significant. And then Churchill at 14.2, and we started this boss at 9, so he got like 5.2 million pops just at the last tier of boss. But the boss itself has like 3 million HP, so I think it's safe to say that he was actually able to do it by himself, which begs the question, what's another hero that can actually solo a boss? So we're probably about to find out kind of soonish because this is really fun, but that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. The tier 5 Poseidon Millipede Mermonkey is supposed to be the damage dealing pet, but let's see if that's actually true. So this is part 2 in our series in which we're taking a look at all of the Mermonkey upgrade pets, and we're talking about the Mill Cross pet today, so let's test this thing out. Let's see how good the Millipede Mermonkey is. Let's start with the sharper prongs. This thing gives it a little bit of extra pierce, and something I noticed, and I think this is true for all the crosspads, well at least I noticed it with the top crosspad, but the middle crosspad as well seems to be better crosspadded with the bottom one. So this tower doesn't exactly make sense in a way that it can pop certain types of balloons, but then it cannot pop others. So for example, while it's like this, it cannot pop lead balloons, but it can pop purples. But once you buy the Riptide Champion, it cannot pop purples as well, so it actually becomes weaker versus them. So yeah, it's a very interesting tower in the way it works. And with the release of the Mermonkey, Ninja Kiwi has also released a code which you guys can redeem, and that code is Monclantis, and I have not redeemed it myself, so let's see what we get. It's gonna be the water balloon pop effect, the pufferfish Moab, and then 3 boardable lakes. I think this is it. Yep, there we go. And on the topic of codes, there's currently a tier 5 Insta Monkeys pack sale, which are extremely rare. They only happen for 1 day and then they're gone for a couple of months. Or if you guys are looking to unlock these towers without having to play for them, plus get yourself some tier 5 Insta Monkeys and exclusive avatars and banners, please don't forget to use my code, either read in the Bloom store. It really helps out a lot. Alright, so now back to our Mermonkey. monkey, as you guys can see, this thing is not exactly that good at defending these early rounds. So the reason is because it just doesn't have the attack speed, and especially when you go for the Echo Sense Precision. Yeah, so look at this, for example, round 13, and we're already running into some issue. We lost our Road Spikes, we lost our Mana Shield, and we're still leaking life. This is a 0-2-1 Mermonkey, which we spend, how much is it? Like at least over 1,000, maybe close to 1.5k, and this thing is still not defending. So let's give it a little bit of a helping hand. I'm using the water this time, so, and I'm saying this time because in my last video I did not place the Mermonkey in water, I placed it on land. That was actually on purpose. But let's go for the bottom crossbar. Let's get the Echo Sense network onto this one, and I'm gonna get the Echo Sense network on the other one as well, because we do want to get the range going onto this guy. So what does the Millipede Mermonkey offer? Well, things are getting interesting when you buy the Riptide Champion, because this is where the Mermonkey starts using waves in order to pop the balloons, and these waves, whenever they expire or they crash into an obstacle or the edge of the map, they explode and they do extra damage. Ah yes, lead balloons, the arch nemesis of these Mermonkeys. Okay, so let me get an Alchemist, which is gonna go like this. I only want him to buff this guy right here. This is gonna be the main one. Let's set the Alchemist on Strong. Let's get the larger potions, and we should be fine for this lead round. And round 36, this is a very important round, because if we deal with at least the first wave of these pink balloons, we are gonna get the Riptide Champion, and once we buy this tower, we should, yes, okay, finally we got the money, so let me buy this thing, and look at this thing. Okay, so this is where the fun starts with the tier 3 and with the Milk Crosspath in general, because these Riptides, look at what they do. They kind of try and follow along the balloons, and because we have the bottom crosspath, the Echo Sense Precision, this is, in my opinion, the better crosspath for the Millipede Mermonkey. So the way the Riptide Champion does damage is in two ways. Number one is, well, with these tridents, they try and seek out the balloons and they just do damage when they hit them, but also, as you guys can somewhat notice it, when these waves explode, they also do some additional damage. And so once you buy the bottom crosspath, the Seeking Projectiles, you're essentially guaranteeing that at the end of the lifespan of your wave, it's gonna explode while it's near balloons, and you're in a way guaranteeing its damage. So that's why I think the bottom crosspath is actually better for the Millipede. And round 39, so far so good. The problem that I'm having is the consistency of these waves, because I don't know how to play around this thing. So I know that when it explodes it does extra damage, but I don't know how to position my Mermonkey in order to get the most out of this. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just praying that this Seeking Projectile is just gonna do the work for us. So let's see how we do versus mobs. Let's just check the damage. We do have an Alch buff, and it is doing 7 damage, 6 to 7 damage depending on whether or not it has the Alch buff, and that's really not a lot. I mean, this thing cannot even deal with a mob class balloon. Okay, that's really good to know actually. Okay, so let's go like this. Let me just buy a mob Mauler, which I'm just gonna sell after we're done with this round. By the way, let me upgrade to the marketplace, because we do need to get farming as soon as possible. Let's sell this thing. And how is it doing? Yeah, it's so good versus small balloons. It's so good versus them. Let's watch it versus the ceramics in 43. So these waves, they kind of crash here into these trees at the bottom, but is that doing some I really cannot tell if that's doing any damage to these balloons. It seems to be dealing with these ceramics, right? Am I wrong about that one? I can see some leaks, but then again, a wave just comes in and sweeps those yellows. I don't know, guys. I'm having some troubles with the consistency with this crosspath. And by the way, look at what is happening with these purple balloons. We cannot pop purples with the waves for some reason. So yeah, we're either gonna leak these guys. We're gonna leak a decent portion of them, but we are playing on hard mode. So yeah, we have lives to spare this time. And again, these purples, guys, and this is such a weird interaction. So no purple, no lead popping power, but once you buy the Arctic Knight, it can up lead balloons, which is, I guess, good, but it still will not be able to pop purples. But once you use the ability, it's just so weird. I saw this meme, right? I'm actually gonna make it appear on screen, but it's like the ability can pop purples, but it cannot pop leads, and it's the other way around with the normal attack. Like, what is even happening with this tower? Let's do a mob damage check now that we have the Alchemist in the village. Is anything gonna change? I mean, the damage is about the same, but we're gonna need some Riptides to explode on top of the mob, and it's just not happening. We're just not getting the explosion. Oh, wait a minute, those waves follow the balloons. I see a full ceramic. No, that's gonna be a full ceramic leaking. Okay, so note to self, the Millipede Mermonkey needs some extra mob popping power, so let's go like this. Let's just give it the extra range, honestly. Let's just have like a 032 Mauler. This thing's gonna be set on strong, so it deals with the mob class balloons, and then we're gonna wipe the small balloons with the Mermonkey. So yeah, this thing absolutely sucks versus mob class balloons. Alright, so let's see how the Arctic Knight does now. So this thing costs $8,000, 8.6 to be exact, and what you can do is you can target the ability with this button right here, so you can have it follow your mouse, I think. So let me just try and use it. Oh no, it's actually set on targeting, so because we have it set on first, it's following the first balloon, but you can also have it set to attack a certain direction. Okay, so let's be mindful about that the next time we use the ability. But yeah, the ability is super strong. Okay, so now that we bought the Arctic Knight, I actually sold the Mauler that we have right here. Let's see if this thing is any better versus mob class balloons. This is round 57, by the way, so 2x2 mobs incoming. I'm not gonna use the ability yet. I just want to see how the normal attack does. The normal attack should be getting upgraded with these waves, and yes, it's definitely a lot stronger than it was. I can see the freeze affecting a decent amount of balloons as well, but it's still not as consistent. Look at this thing. This is a pink balloon. Oh my god. And BFB incoming. Are we gonna be able to destroy this BFB? I think we are with just the ability but the ability is so strong. That's for such a short amount of time, but it's so strong when it does happen. And we have a couple of mobs as leftovers, so I think we are gonna be dealing with the leftovers, right? These waves do a lot of damage. If you get the wave explosion nicely, yes, it absolutely does deal with the small balloons, but again, I don't know how to play around this thing. It's the consistency of these waves is just so bad. Alright, so the big round. Now this is where hopefully our Riptide champ, it's not even Riptide, it's the Arctic Knight. Hopefully this guy shines versus a bunch of these ceramic balloons. So we know that we can deal with small balloons. It's just if you get the explosion of the waves correctly, we have the homing projectiles and it seems to be dealing with them. But just remember that this is a very long map, so on shorter maps you're probably gonna have to somewhat play around this thing, as in, you know, have the waves collide with an obstacle so that they explode and they do the extra damage. But yeah, so far so good. This is gonna be a wave number 3 of the ceramic, so it is dealing with around 63. I mean, no issues here so far. I am saving the ability on purpose because we're gonna have some mobs incoming on this one, so I'm gonna set this thing as strong, and as soon as the 45 mobs appear, I'm gonna use the ability. So let's bombard all these guys. The ability does have a decent amount of pierce, it looks like, because it went through all of these mobs, it seems like. So a lot of 45 ceramics incoming. Let me overclock this thing, the Arctic Knight, for the first time, and let's see how strong these waves become now. So the consistency definitely should be getting improved versus small balloons, and the damage versus big balloons is becoming not that bad, honestly. I still haven't used the ability, and I know for a fact the ability gets affected if the tower is overclocked. So let me overclock it and let me actually show this to you guys around 75. So whenever you do, let's go on strong, by the way. Let's use the ability, and I think that's a lot more balls coming out just because this guy's overclocked it. Bam, that was so many BFVs that just disappeared. It's still struggling though. Look at this thing, 45 mobs, come on. I'm gonna need those waves to start doing a lot of damage to these guys, because if this mob makes it all the way around, no, it gets frozen. I think we have this thing. Yeah, there we go. But guys, we have $71,000 and Poseidon is 56. So finally we do get the money for this thing. So let's buy Poseidon. Oh my god, that was a huge range increase. Okay, so oh my god, with all these mermonkeys. Okay, so you can actually see the start of the map, and he attacks with 3 tridents instead of 1, and I think the damage of each trident is doubled, and then it attacks in double the speed. So yeah, the damage increase is just so big in comparison to the Arctic Knight. But for a $56,000 tower, I do expect this thing to just start owning these balloons, and I don't want to see any leaks until the end of the game, because so far we've paid like closer to $70,000, and I can beat Chimson with 70k. That's what I'm saying. So this tower better defeat all the rounds by itself. Yeah, watching this guy go to town onto these balloons, I'm even more convinced that the correct cross path is the bottom one, just because you get the extra rain from the Echo Sense Hammer, which is really important. But these seeking projectiles, these seeking waves, you absolutely need them to seek the balloons and then explode on top of the balloons, because that's where a lot of the damage actually happens with these waves exploding. Look at what's happening. Wait a minute, this tier 5 is so good. Look at this. These balloons are not even making it past the first bend. These were, by the way, 45 balloons. That's just so strong. Yep, I'm officially impressed by Poseidon. Arctic Knight, not so much. The ability is strong, it can get buffed, but the consistency on the waves is just really not there. The same thing goes for the Riptide champion, but this guy, Poseidon is actually insane. It's way too good of a tower, so that's why I rebought all. Oh my god, that was a DTs, by the way. Yeah, I rebought all the farms because I do want to god boost this guy, and I do want to see how far it can get into free play mode by itself, because I actually do think that once you buy this tower, this is like an auto win tower. Like, this thing just doesn't lose. It currently has a 420 Alchemist and a 200 Jungle Jones Village on it. Like, that's about it. We're not buffing it in any other way, and this thing is not even getting, like, these balloons are not even getting close to us. Let's watch 95. So we should have some DDTs on this round, and I'm saying we should have because I'm barely seeing these guys. So as soon as he starts attacking, I think the splash damage from these waves is actually what's doing a lot of damage to these DDTs and just the mob class balloons in general. And yeah, I'm just so convinced that the bottom crosspath is the way to go for this tower. It's insane. Like, but we still haven't used the ability. So let me actually, it's round 96. Let's use the ability once, and it freezes. Okay, so I'm watching these BFBs, so they do have a freeze effect on top of them, and also these balls, they just keep bouncing. And I know from the tier 4 that they also freeze balloons that they come in contact with. And so while the ability is nice and it does look like it does something, I guess I'm still more impressed by the just auto attack and how good this thing is while it's attacking the balloons. So I told you guys that if you buff Poseidon, it actually goes onto the ability. So let's use the homeland to the overclock. Let me use the ability right now. Look at, oh my god, so many balls on the screen. What? Wait, is the round gone? What's happening? Where are the ZMGs? Oh my god, this thing is not even attacking. The balls are just popping the entire round. This is so strong. Oh my god. Oh, wait a minute. 45 DDTs though. Did this guy find its match? 45 DDTs? That was not exactly expected, but we deal with them, and this is gonna be the bad. So here's what I'm gonna do. Overclock again, homeland, and let's just use this ability. And how much is it gonna take for it to pop the bad balloon? The damage numbers are going insane, and it does seem like the bad balloon is a little bit too tough for this thing. I mean, it is popping it, to be fair, and it just did like a lot of damage to the bad layer. But look at these attacks go. It's throwing the trident so fast, and oh my god, I'm god boosting it, so we're not stopping here, guys. Let me buy the perma first, and there are a lot of balloons. It's around 104, so let's use the ability. Let's slow down all of these guys. Let's get those balls out on the screen. Let's have them jump around, and we do need to save the ability for round 106. Actually, how are we doing with the money? So if we sell all our farms, we are going to have enough money for the temple, but we're not going to have enough money for the ultra boost. This is round 106, by the way, so if you guys remember around 99, we did struggle a little bit versus 45 TETs, and the catch with these guys is that they're super fast. So let me overclock this guy. Let's just get the damage going through the overclock. Let's see how much of a difference the overclock makes. I am saving both the Homeland and the Poseidon ability. It's called the Ice Jet ability, by the way, so I'm saving both of those guys. But so far, so good. I don't see any issues, so it was only the overclock that was necessary. So yeah, this thing basically lacks attack speed. There's gonna be a huge wave of DETs, but yeah, no problem. A lot of ZMGs in this round. Let me overclock. Let me use the Homeland ability as well. Look at those waves go. It attacks me 3 tridents instead of 1. And once you use these abilities, I don't think that anything is leaking anytime soon. I'm gonna be honest. Let me use the ability as well, because a lot of ZMGs on this one. Oh my god, we caught the end of the Homeland, I think. Alright guys, so we do have the money for everything that we need, so let me sell all these farms. First off, let me get the Sun Temple, and let me give it some extra range. So yeah, bam, there we go. This guy is getting affected by the support temple's buff, and we also have the money for the ultra boost, so let me buy it. Let's start ultra boosting this thing, and let's get this party started. Wait a minute, I just remembered, the Mermonkey is a water-based tower, so if I buy something like this, a plutonium reactor, it is gonna get the cooldown reduction. Wait a minute. So if we get the Energizer, basically this thing's cooldown is gonna go halfway there. So that is really, oh my god, that's so strong. I can't even start fathoming how strong we can make this tower, and we're just getting started. Channel 115, I know, but this tower can get so much stronger. It's insane. And we meet again a bad balloon. Well, actually, there's gonna be more than one in this round, so let's ultra boost. This is gonna be ultra boost number 5, and we do have the shortened cooldown onto the Ice Jet ability, so let me use it. And if I feel like this ability is just so much stronger than last time, so 3 bats. Let's use the Homeland. There's so many waves going on. Oh my god, the splash and just the damage that this thing does is so. Look at those waves go. Look at the waves go, guys. Tell me this isn't insane. Oh my god, this thing does so much damage. So round 131. Is this gonna be the round which this thing loses? I haven't used an ability yet. I'm just letting it attack by itself, but it seems like these balloons are becoming way too beefy for it. So even though it's ultra boosted 10 times, oh, never mind. It actually might even defend this one. Yeah, but the balloons are definitely becoming a little bit too beefy for it. So it is holding on. Is it holding on? 100 lives? Are we gonna let this thing ride? I think I should use an ability. Let's freeze all of them. I think I barely got yeah, there we go. 25 lives. Okay, if one balloon leaks, we're done now. 140, a 45 bat. Can we deal with the 45 bat? Let's go all out on this thing. Let's use the ability. Let's use all abilities. Actually, let's see how much damage this thing does. The damage numbers are going insane. 20 million pops in total. It's just lagging because we have so many things active, and the lifespan actually on these balls is getting extended when you get the tier 5, so they are doing a lot of damage just because they're buffed as well. I'm gonna use the ability again, but I don't know, guys. Are we even defeating this thing? I feel like maybe with the abilities there's like a second bat incoming. Thankfully the one at the back is not 45, so we might even be able to deal with this thing. Let's use the Homeland because it did come off cooldown. I think we're popping this thing. It's just that, are we gonna be able to stop the DDTs is my question, and no, they're super fast. So round 40 is where the Poseidon's journey ends. We tried with all the abilities. The tier 3 a little bit underwhelming, the tier 4 a little bit underwhelming just in terms of their consistency with the small balloons, so you are gonna need a little support in some other towers obviously to kind of make this tower work. But I'm super impressed by Poseidon. The fact that it just becomes so much stronger, gets so much damage, the ability can get buffed by all these external towers, so that makes this thing even more fun to play. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. That was the Millipede Mermonkey, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow for the bottom path. The Golden Justice tier 5 Desperado Monkey is here, and out of all 3 tier 5 Desperados, I think this one is the most cracked one when you buff him properly. So since the update has been out for like a day and a half at this point, we have some numbers on the Desperado towers actually, because people have started doing some testing and everything. And I gotta tell you, this Millipede Desperado, the Golden Justice, is absolutely nuts when you buff him. This placement, by the way, is not a mistake, because we are gonna need a straight line, and we are just gonna be giving this guy so many range buffs. Range is actually really important in just making the Millipede Desperado work, especially the Golden Justice, and that's why I brought Eti as the hero as well. So let's drop Eti. Obviously, as you guys know, level 2 and level 16 at the end gives a range buff to all of the towers in its radius. And we're playing on a hard mode. I want to buy a Sun Temple, actually. That's going to be one of the towers that we buy as well, because I want to properly buff this Golden Justice. This is going to be closer to God boosting it so that you guys can see the actual power of this tower. Now, before we continue, I just wanted to remind you guys that in case you still haven't unlocked the Desperado Monkey, or you're kind of lazy to gather the pops, you can still buy it from the BTD6 web store. And actually, this is the place in which I recommend buying it from. And that's because if you're buying from the web store, Ninja Kiwi is giving you some bonus stuff for absolutely free. So for example, here you're going to get 2 tier 4 Desperado Insta Monkeys, and this goes for every single deal that they have in the web store. So if you guys are planning on buying your Desperado unlock pack, or basically anything else in the shop, please don't forget to use my code EATANDREAD in the store. Alright, so I'm going to try and greed out the greater production, and then we're going to buy some upgrades. I bought the crit, I bought the bullseye upgrade, plus the camo detection one for the camo on 24, and the way that you want to combine this one is probably with the top crosspad. So the top crosspad, the quick jog, makes this guy attack faster the further the balloons away from Desperado, and then the next one, the standoff, is he attacks faster the fewer balloons are in radius. And because we're going for the rifle, basically that's the entire melee crosspad, this guy is going to get a second radius, or a second range if you will, and actually you want to keep him as far away from the balloons as possible, because he gets an extra chance to crit when he's far away from them. Actually, let's go like this. Let me sell one of these farms so we get the Deadeye upgrade a little bit faster, and then we're gonna read up on it in a second. But I think that this upgrade actually has a little bit of AoE, which we are gonna need for a round like this one. Then we do get an ability, that is the Take Aim ability, which is gonna improve this guy's range. So let's see how we're gonna do on 27. It's really close. We have some mana shield, and I think, yes, we're gonna defend it barely though. Alright, so finally starting to get the rage going, so we can barely see a little bit of this portion of the track. Actually, if I use the ability, yes, we do see the track. That's gonna be really important. And once you buy the rifle is actually really strong. It does a couple of things. Number one is the Take Aim ability, which is the thing that I just used on him. So basically that ability reduces the shot spread, it gives camo detection to the tower if the tower doesn't have it, and it gives a lot of extra range. A great thing about this guy is that he does have a little bit of AoE with this rifle. So you know, not even though he's like a single target oriented, I guess, he does 12 damage per attack with the shotgun on the tier 3, and then he has a 4x damage crit, so that goes to 48 when he crits. That's a lot of damage actually. Still leaking though, still not the ideal way to deal with the huge groups of balloons. And as you guys know, he has 2 radiuses essentially, so when the balloons enter this small radius, he starts using the pistol, and that is the thing that you, as far as I can tell from my testing, you want to avoid that. You know, something that I noticed is the targeting doesn't exactly matter. If I set him on last, like that doesn't mean that he's going to be using the rifle essentially, so you cannot cheat the system. Oh, let's actually use the drones, and let's get some upgrades going. Let's get the marketplace, and I'm really trying to get to the bounty hunter, the tier 4 upgrade as fast as possible. So do we have this one? Yes, we do. Alright, so in comes the Moab. Let's give him the Take Aim ability, and look at the range. Yes, we are getting there. So when we're done with this guy, he's gonna be able to see like towards the start of the track, I'm pretty sure. Let's just see how he does versus the Moab at the inside. So he should be able to one-shot. Oh my god, we broke them apart. No, let's actually restart this one. Alright, so here's how I want to play this. Let's give him a little bit of extra attack speed. Let's see if like a tiny bit of attack speed from the jungle jumps is gonna help us beat this one. So let's give him the Take Aim ability. Maybe we get some lucky crits or something like that. Oh my god, what is even happening? That was not even close this time. But yeah, once the small balloons start rolling in, like he does have some AoE, but definitely not the best. Now once you get the bounty hunter, this is where things start get a little bit more interesting, because I think the AoE of the main attack becomes a little bit bigger. So look at this thing, he's actually sniping 2 of these rainbows with one shot. I don't think that he was able to do this before. And number 2 is that he is one-shotting fortified ceramics. He does 24 damage, but he also does plus 24 to 45 balloons as well. And look at how crazy this guy is. There's basically not a balloon that this guy cannot one-shot, which is absolutely insane. Now he does get this new Mark to Pop ability, which basically oh my god, he's just one-shotting the entirety of the 49 round, isn't he? Yeah, so the Mark to Pop ability basically does this. He marks a couple of balloons and then quickly attacks every single one of those balloons, and the catch is that he does double damage to those balloons, and they give you double the amount of cash that they would normally. Look at, by the way, how good he is versus like these ceramics and something like a Moab, which is gonna appear in a second. So we did kind of, I guess the first time we struggled versus the Moab around 40, and then look at just what he does to a Moab right now. This is insane. It's only the tier 4. Once you buy the bounty hunter, I don't think that this guy loses in free play, and I think that's the case with the top pad, the Blazing Sun as well. It's just that the Blazing Sun has absolutely no AoE. So if you guys watched the video that we made yesterday, like as soon as you break up the balloons into small groups, the Blazing Sun just struggles, because he's like a glorified sniper. He's something like a 303 sniper, I call it. This guy, however, absolutely no issues. So I'm just gonna keep farming. I'm just gonna keep buying a couple of central markets, honestly, because he doesn't seem like he's gonna lose anytime soon. We can get the stronger stim and maybe some upgrades on the alchemist, and let's actually give him a little bit of extra range to see how far we can see now. So this is gonna be the take aim of build. Oh yeah, look at this thing, guys. Look at how much we've extended the range so far. We can actually do a couple more things because he's a primary tower, so we can get the primary training and the primary mentoring. And now look at how big this range is. In a second, we're not even gonna be able to see this circle. Also, a very good combo, by the way, with the primary mentoring, because it gives a 15% cooldown reduction to all the primary abilities, and this is obviously primary abilities. So let me just check what is the uptime on the take aim ability while we are watching him like 4-shot a BFB, which is insane. Yeah, let's just kind of watch the duration. So definitely over 50%. That's kind of close to, I would say, 70-ish% uptime, which is actually really good. All right, so let's watch him versus 63, because he's gonna be one-shotting the ceramics. The question is how much pierce he has on his attacks and how fast he's gonna dispatch of the, oh my god, that's 5 shots in order to dispatch the entire group of ceramics. Let's actually mark the next one. Can we actually mark every single one of them? Because the mark, yeah, he's not gonna be able to mark every one of them though. Oh, but look at the attacks, look at the crits. That was so good. So the marking range, by the way, once you use the mark to pop ability, is infinite as far as I can understand, and then his range also becomes infinite. And wait a minute, is he still not strong? Yeah, he is. Let's just move him back to first for a second. Alright guys, let's finally buy the Golden Justice. I did a little bit of farming, by the way, so that we are ready for the god boosting in a second, but let's buy this thing first off, and then we're gonna start adding some buffs. So the Golden Justice, absolutely insane tier 5. You guys have probably seen what it does by now, but I'm not sure if you have read the numbers on this thing, so let me just give you a rundown on everything is happening. This guy and the I guess the bounty hunter as well has this passive ability, which is marking balloons. So instead of clicking the button, he actually does that passively every 9 seconds, I believe. The marked balloons take extra damage, and this guy, his main attack gets upgraded by a lot. As you guys are seeing, he's like literally 2-shotting. Look at this thing. That was a fortified Moab. There's like a million BFBs here, so he's gonna attack the first balloon. He's gonna go through every single one of these guys, and that's what makes him so good. He does 210 damage per attack, and he does an extra 210 to 45 balloons. Now there's a thing happening with a critical chance with the Golden Justice, and it's that the crits get upgraded from 4x to 8x. So what I'm telling you guys is that this guy can do 1680 damage per attack as long as he crits. Now the way that these crits work is very interesting, and it goes like kind of in line with the entire tower. So he has a 2.5% base chance to crit, but he gets a 0.4% extra chance to crit for every distance, for every unit of distance the target is far from him. So basically, I know that sounds like a mouthful, so basically as far as I could understand it, for example, the Buccaneer has a range of 60. So for example, if let's say this is 60 units, then somewhere around here would be 120, and somewhere around here would be 180 units. And if you multiply 180 by 0.4% chance, that is going to give you 70, well actually it's a little bit over 70% chance to crit. So basically, as long as the target balloon is as far away as possible from the Golden Justice, the chance to crit goes up. And this is the exact reason why we're giving him range buffs and why we placed him over here in this spot. Now, so it's around 84, and the balloons are coming a little bit closer to its range. Now when they go into like, because the small radius obviously gets improved the more range you give him, so when they go into this small range, he starts using his pistol. And the thing with the pistol is that on the Golden Justice, apparently that is an AoE attack as well, which is really cool. But let's finally overclock him. I'm gonna get the ultra boost as well, because we want to get him to 10 stacks, and we don't want to let these balloons come near the tower actually. Alright, let's actually count the amount of crits that this guy is gonna get on this round. So 1, 2, 3 out of 3, that's a miss, and that is a hit. So that's 4 out of 5 shots. Alright, so let's see how he does versus DDTs. I've actually not seen this, but something I'm noticing is that, you know, even though we're giving a lot of attack speed, we still want to be slowing or kind of keeping the balloons outside of his range. So I wouldn't mind doing something like this, actually. Maybe like a Relentless Blue here on the side. Alright, let's watch 94. So obviously this is one of the beefier rounds, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be 3-shotting the BFBs, if not less. That's a crit, oh my god. He 3-shots the BFVs around 94. I'm telling you guys, this guy is nuts. And we don't even have that many things that are not doable in a normal game. Like, for example, you don't even need the Ultra Boost. You can just overclock him. This is reasonably priced, I think, at about $43,000, I think, that we paid for the tier 5. Alright, so Eti is going to get level 16, so we're going to get a little bit more range as well. It's really important to kind of keep Etienne between levels 16 and 20, actually, because level 20 he gets this passive UCAV, but it's fine. We have the cash to pull it off. Eti is also going to get level 16 kind of soonish. Let's just watch 95 in the process. Let me give him the take aim, and oh my god, this is so insane. Look at this thing. Every shot is a crit, guys. This is like not even funny. Is this actually 70%? Yeah, there we go. It's actually about 70%, yeah. But he is so good, and we have so many buffs left to give him. Let me check the Ultra Boost stacks. We're at 9. Alright, so this is going to be the last one that we're about to give him. Alright, I'm going to buy a couple more farms because this guy is not losing anytime soon. So Eti is level 16, and once we use the take aim ability, yes, we can no longer see the range. Okay, let's see how we do versus 98. I'm not exactly seeing the round at this point. Like, I was really excited to see how he does it versus 98, but the ZMGs are gone. It's only the 45 BFBs. I mean, everything is getting 3-shot. Yep, absolutely nuts. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Like, this is 45 DTs. Again, everything getting 1-shot. In comparison to the Blazing Sun, like, I'm just so impressed by this tower and so in love with this guy. I thought that the Desert Phantom was like a very cool one, but now that I've actually gotten to play the Golden Justice, I don't know, I'm changing my mind on this guy as well. He's absolutely insane. This is a bad one, by the way, which he is just sniping, although the crit chance obviously goes down. So again, you want to keep everyone at bay and as far away as possible. Alright, so I think it's finally time. Let's start selling off some of our farms, and let's buy the Sun God, actually. So let's start off by buying the tier 4 somewhere around this area. So let's go like this. Let's buy the NG. We're only going to be making a support temple, so not exactly worried about other sacrifices. We want to have it as far away as possible. Let me buy this thing again, and then let's buy the True Sun God. So after buying this guy, let's give him some range. So the Desperado is in range, and this guy is just now gonna go ham. Now, can we do something else? Yes, we can do 2 more things actually, but we need to sell all the other farms. Number 1, we can buy a Top Path Mermonkey, the Lord of the Abyss, and this thing actually gives pierce. It is a 40% extra pierce of all nearby towers, and this guy like has, I don't know the exact number, but he has like 1,000,000 pierce anyways. So basically this is gonna be really helpful in just going through all these balloons. Number 2, we can do this, the Homeland, and then number 3, we can buy the Energizer Sub, which is gonna reduce the cooldown of our take aim ability, so it's gonna be like at 100% uptime, I think. Let's actually try it out. Let's use the ability, and let's just, oh my god, look at this range, by the way. You cannot even see the range, but you can see the circle like here from the outer side. He can almost see the start, and the crit chance at this point is like closer to 100, right? Let's just watch the uptime on the take aim ability. So it's still up. No, it just expired. Okay, so it's really close to 100% at this point. It's not 100, but it's like 80, 85 for sure. Okay, let's for the first time ever combine all of the abilities at once. So let's use the Ultra Boost, let's use the take aim ability, and let's use the Homeland. And this guy is attacking. Oh my god, he's attacking like a bottom pad sniper. Like, look at how fast the projectiles are going out. That was a bad balloon, by the way. Yeah, this guy is nuts. Let's actually do something like this. Let's buy the Call to Arms so that when the Homeland is down, we can have another buffing ability up and running. Let's do the Homeland thingy again, and this, oh my god, absolutely wild. Everything is a crit. Look at this guy. He's like a robo super monkey at this point, like the middle path. He is not losing anytime soon, is he, guys? I don't think so. Like, the second that he stops one-shotting some of these balloons, that's when he's gonna lose, because he's eventually gonna get overwhelmed, but I'm not even sure like when that's gonna happen. Alright, there might be one last thing that we can do to buff this guy, and that is the Boomerang Paragon, actually. So I think that the Boomerang Paragon gives a 10% attack speed buff to all, well, it gives the buff to all primary Paragons, but I'm not sure if it gives it to all primary towers as well. So we are about to find out. So let's buy the Glaive Dominus. We're gonna have it on the side. It's only gonna be a degree 1, and he's not gonna be taking any pops, but let me actually check. Oh my god, he actually does get it. Look, he does get an extra 10% attack speed. This is insane. You guys know what this reminds me of? I just remember, this is like a Ray of Doom, right? It's just like a straight line, and whatever touches the straight line, it just gets destroyed instantly. So round 139, and this guy is not even like close to losing at this point. I feel like when he does lose though, it's gonna be pretty fast. So he's just gonna start using his gun, I think. Yeah, just like this. And then he's just gonna lose in a second because he's gonna pull out the wrong weapon essentially. So let's give him the take aim ability. That was a 45 bad, just like casually getting destroyed. Is this guy busted or something? Like, I know that we're god boosting him, and this is obviously skewing the results. Like, this is not how the tower performs. But without, like, even with like half of these buffs, even with like just an overclock and just a couple of range buffs, I think that this guy's absolutely nuts. 150. Absolutely wild, but this might be the last round. In fact, the rounds that we've kind of struggled on are rounds where, yeah, just something like this happens. So there are like bad balloons and there are DDTs, and while he's focusing the DDTs, the bads are just covering a huge percentage of the track. Something that has happened in the past few rounds is that the Boomer Paragon and like these all other towers started helping out a little bit, so that is obviously not fair. But if we do get, like, we're gonna get the pop on this one, and yeah, we do get the knockback, but this guy's attacking with the pistol, and that is not good because I don't think the pistol itself can deal with all these balloons. So I think it's safe to say that he made it into like the 150s. If it wasn't for the other towers, he was obviously going to lose, but come on guys, this is absolutely insane what we're witnessing. So I think we're gonna call round 150 the end for this guy, which is nuts to begin with, but he is such a fun tower, and in comparison to the Blazing Sun, I mean, what a tier 5 this guy is. The Golden Justice, absolutely insane, and I love this guy. I love this guy so much. So yeah, that's gonna be for this one. I think we're gonna end it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you all very soon for the next tier 5. BTD7 is sort of here because now we can god boost Paragons apparently. This is kind of wild because at the release of the Paragons, I think Ninja Kiwi themselves said that they're gonna be unbuffable by other towers, but as the updates have progressed, they've added another layer of BTD6, and that's the Paragons, and then the Paragons are starting to interact with each other. Now let me tell you what each one of these buffs does. The first one is a Monkey Knowledge Point, which gives 20% attack speed. This here is the Boomerang Paragons buff given to all primary towers, which is an 11% attack speed. This is the Energizer sub buff for the cooldown reduction. This is Camel Detection from the Ninja Paragon, and this is the new Engineer Overclock Power Glove ability. So basically what we're looking at is an extremely buff and an extremely strong attack Paragon, and so I was thinking, let's try and see if we can beat an elite boss by only using this god boosted attack Paragon. So let's get going with Geraldo and the Dark Monkey. I think we're not going to be farming too much, but when you think about it, all of these side buffs are going to be more expensive than the Paragon itself, because the Attack Paragon is the second cheapest Paragon in BT6, and like all these other towers that we have to get, especially the Engine Paragon, not only that it's expensive, but we're going to need a degree 40 for a full uptime on the overclock ability. So I'm looking to greed out at least one more base farm before we buy another defensive tower, which I think is going to be the tank, like right here in this intersection, or maybe here on the right side. Doesn't exactly matter. The point is that I just want to get at least one more farm. So let's go on Strong actually, and oh no, he's gonna switch. I should have had him on last now that I think about this, because he is an AoE attack, and I wanted to get some damage going onto this like huge group of greens, but it's not gonna be too bad, I don't think. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. So I'm trying to greed out this greater production. Again, I know we're leaking a lot of lives, and this greeting thingy, it's not exactly the best thing to do. So we're down to 30 lives, and can we actually do it? I mean, I bought like a 100 attack. I think we can, but hopefully we don't leak too many lives on this one. Okay, so let's go like this. Let's buy the bottom pack. Oh, that's way too many balloons. Oh, actually, let me drop the spikes here at the back, which I really don't want to do because it's extra cash, but yeah, we're gonna survive. Okay, so let's finally buy some tack upgrades. Yep, just the good old marketplace farming. I haven't done this in a very long time. Usually I either go for IMF or a Minneapolis before the tier 1 boss, but no, we're just gonna be doing the old-fashioned way. Actually, I don't even want to be, you know, going too crazy with this thing. Let's actually go like this. Let me get the rubber to the lead to gold and the rubber to gold eventually onto this alchemist. I feel like this is still gonna be worth it, right? Alright, so 39, and we're gonna have the tier 1 boss. The idea for this one is to go for the, I should actually sell this Dark Monkey so we get some cheaper prices, so let's get the overdrive. But the idea for this one is to actually get the tag zone going, and for that we're gonna need to sell a couple of these farms. And actually I want to wait for round 40 to end before we sell them. Hopefully that's not gonna be too long of a wait, so let's try it like this. Actually I think we just have to go. Okay, so let's get the tag zone. We have an alchemist up top. Unfortunately that's the wrong type of alchemist, so let's go like this. Let's get a 4-0 on the alchemist, give it a little bit of pierce through the primary training, and wait a second, wait a minute, is this gonna be on time? I think we're gonna have to use a maelstrom for the first wave before we can buy the actual maelstrom. Oh, wait a minute, we don't have the money for this. Wait. Guys, know what, let's actually buy the maelstroms before we buy the tag zone, so we're ready for it. So let's go for something like this. I'm gonna buy 2 maelstroms, by the way, just so we're safe, plus the Geraldo ones. We're gonna need a lot of money for this tier 1, it looks like. So let's let these guys produce a little bit of cash. I'm not sure of the tax placement now that I think about this, but around 41, so let's go like this. Let's buy the tag zone. We're gonna need to give it a village, but I'm gonna stop. Actually, you know what, it's just like cheap beers to get the primary train, so why not get it? Go like this, 300 on the alchemist. And now let's see how we're doing. So for the first wave, well, it's actually not even like one wave, it's more like 2 waves, but let's use the ordinary maelstrom ability, and then we're gonna need to do this against the Geraldo Maelstroms, it seems like. Yeah, so one Geraldo Maelstrom on the field, and this ability is it coming off cooldown? Actually, we're gonna trigger one of the Geraldo ones. Is one gonna be enough though? It seems like it is. Okay, so I'm actually gonna use the second one here down below. We do get the ability off cooldown. Wait a minute, is the second one not gonna be necessary? Okay, so use the normal Maelstrom ability like this. There's 2 Maelstroms and 1 skull left, so let's use one of these guys. And was that, oh my god, this is not in, no, actually, you know what, it's actually gonna be perfect. Look at this thing, 0 Maelstroms left. Was that it? I mean, I see some Cowboys actually making it on the other side. We do have this boat, so hopefully the boat carries by itself. Oh my god, that was crazy. So we didn't actually end up needing the second Maelstrom, which is, you know what, I'm not complaining, this is good news. Alright, so that is going to be round 42 ending, so let me turn off all the start. We absolutely demolished the farming, but you know what, we got it done. Okay, so let's reconstitute the farm. So let's sell basically almost everything. Let me get a Minneapolis actually going, because why not? Let's get a couple of small farms going as well. And I was also thinking of getting an NG, and the NG is going to have to be actually here. So that, yeah, let me actually try it like this. So the NG is going to have to go like this, the spot which doesn't actually hold a farm. You know, let's get the balloon trap, have the balloon trap on the other side. Alright, this is going to be marketplace number 6. So things are looking on the up and up for sure. Let's get some 4th tier farms actually going so we can fertilize them, make use of Geraldo's items so we can make a little bit more money. Alright, so let's go like this. Let me get this central market going. Let's also give this guy a fertilizer. How's this guy and on the right to him looking? Okay, he doesn't need a fertilizer. I also bought the glue, guys. Look at what I did. Glue on strong so that we can stagger these balloons a little bit and have as many of them as possible walking to the trap. So I'm going to do this kind of a Frankenstein defense where we're not exactly defending with proper towers, but we're just kind of using Geraldo items to patch everything through. So I'm giving like a cow potion to the NG so they can absorb cow balloons. I have Jerry's fire given to Geraldo, and then this favorite trains put at the back. By the way, I absolutely love this tower snapping feature, and I just realized that this is going to be useful, well, right now, because I found a spot for the super Maelstrom somewhere around here, but I cannot exactly. There we go. Look at this thing. There it is. Okay, so let's just go back to it. Boom, there it is. That's such a useful feature, actually. I'm going to disconnect it because I usually don't need it, but for some situations like this one. So the idea is that I'm going to get the super Maelstrom, so we're, again, doing the full DAC defense as we did. Oh, actually, let's make a lot. Oh, no, we don't have camo tech. Is this worth it? If I buy a village for this Let the Gold Alchemist and he just uses it all, I think this is going to be worth it, guys, right? So I can sell it. I want to give it a cow potion, but we have no cow potions, actually. You know what? I think it might have been worth it. Let's sell it. That was so much money. So here's the plan. We have to click start, by the way, so we can start making some money. But the plan is this. Tag zone, I want to buy a super bill, which is going to go like this as well. Let me just buy the Embroilment Ice. And also we need to buy an overclock. So yeah, this is a little bit more on the, you know, on the expensive side in comparison to a previous one, but we do have the super Maelstrom in the backline ready. The thing is, we need to just kind of get going with our towers as fast as possible. So let me get the tag zone. This guy sells for 18k and these guys sell for 4.5. Yeah, that's... you know what, it's actually gonna be enough for everything that we want to buy, right? Let's go like this, get the super bill, and then that should be, yeah, it's right on the money. There we go. Yeah, look at this thing. I think I'm seeing, yes, we see a spot for the Deadeye, so let's go like this. Let's just give this guy a little bit of extra attack range, because why not? We can do that through the primary mentoring as well, so let's buy it. Let's use the extra range. Yes, look at this thing. Get the extra range in the tag zone. And you guys know what I'm noticing? We don't have to use the Maelstrom at the back, actually. This tag zone seems to be dealing with the leftovers by itself, it seems like. I mean, listen, I'm not complaining. Let me just keep farming then. I'm gonna keep buying my BRFs. How is everything looking? It's a bunch of BFBs, so it might start becoming problematic, but with this super real combo, I mean, this is just an insane tower. Oh, we might be seeing some first leaks. Yes, let's go like... Oh my god, it's such a mess. Okay, so here's the tag zone. Okay, we have to use the super Maelstrom now. Okay, finally. So there was it was a good purchase after all. Yeah, that wasn't a failed purchase, but something I'm noticing is that the cooldown is likely not gonna come off. So we're gonna need to use the rejuve actually. Yep, let's use the rejuve. Let's dump one more super Maelstrom. We are gonna use the overclock. And where is Geraldo? Here's Geraldo. Okay, let's use one more rejuve just to be safe. We need to extend the range. It's probably gonna be the last one. I'm gonna overclock it again. Oh, super Maelstrom. Oh my god, this is not gonna be enough, is it? Because I'm not sure if the ability is gonna last. This is the, I guess this is the last call, but the super Maelstrom is not gonna last. Where's Geraldo? Okay, let me let's try and save this thing with the small maelstroms as well. Is this gonna work out even? I mean, the boss did pop. How's the cooldown looking? Oh, it's not looking good, guys. I think these small maelstroms are not even gonna hold, so let's use this last one. Yep, they're not holding, but we do get the super maelstrom ability back, and hopefully now we defend. Yes, that's amazing. All right, that was actually so fun with the tag zone destroying the bosses, and it's gonna be like this for with the paragons as well on the other tiers, because for the tier 3 we are gonna have to buy a paragon actually. So as soon as this round ends, let me actually just start selling some of these towers. So I guess we could find a use for this overclock that we bought, but let's buy the ultra boost. Let's sell all of these towers that we just bought. All right, so it's time to buy some proper defenses actually, and I think I'm just gonna have attack like in this. I know it's a bad spot, but I kind of want to have some balloons walk into the trap first and then get destroyed by the tank, whatever's left over. Let's also buy the big trap, because why not? And I think I'm gonna keep this guy as the overdrive with maybe some small drought buffs like this, I was thinking. Alright, so this is the plan for the tier 3. We need to get the buffs stacking essentially. We need to get going. So I'm gonna buy the glaive dominance here in the bottom left corner. I want to have it like this so it doesn't interfere, so it's behind a rock as you guys can see. And essentially it's just gonna be providing the buff, but it's not gonna be doing any damage. And only a degree 1, by the way, is gonna be enough, because as you guys can see here, it does give the buff even if it's degree 1. And I was thinking about the attack around here where the super maelstrom is. So because we have all the small tags, the sacrificial ones, I'm not going to be putting any money into this thing, so it's going to be a degree 20 something, 22. Yeah, that's going to be fine. So let's go like this. Let's use the super maelstrom ability on the tank. This one's uptime is also, by the way, modified by the degree of the paragon, or I should say not the uptime but the cooldown, I think actually. And that same thing goes with the meteor ability. This thing is set on strong, so in case we do need it, we're going to use the meteor ability. How is this guy looking? A 22 attack. I mean, it's doing a decent amount of work for sure. I can see some DTs making it on the other side, and oh, this boomer paragon is actually somehow finding a spot. How is this happening? How is the boomer paragon attacking DTs? Like, his entire range is red, as you guys can see, but he's still attacking DTs. I don't know, I don't think he's doing too much damage, but it's like, thought it wasn't going to be happening yet, because the main damage is still being done by the attack paragon, and it seems like this guy's not even struggling with it. So I'm going to use the super maelstrom ability. I'm also going to dump the attack meteor ability. I mean, why not? Let's see how much damage this thing is going to do. That is a, oh my god, that's a skull in its entirety, and another one with the small meteors kind of homing in. And yeah, this combo with the super bill and this attack paragon, especially with the little bit, you know, we're getting it going, guys. We have 2 buffs on this guy. It's the 11% attack speed from the boomerang paragon, and then the 20% attack speed buff from the monkey knowledge. You know what? For the tier 4, here's what we're gonna do. We are actually gonna keep this one as a degree 22, which might be a little bit underpowered, but we're gonna buy the NG paragon. We're gonna make sure it's a degree 40 on the NG paragon, so that we have 100% uptime on the overclock. Alright, so it's round 95, and I think we need to get going on our setup actually. So I'm gonna wait for this round to end. We're gonna get a paragon power totem, which is gonna be number 13, it seems like. And I'm actually gonna try and buy the NG paragon and see what degree we get on this guy. So there we go, place the totem. I'm gonna have this guy in the bottom right corner, and let's see, let's just kind of do a test and see what degree we get. So we're gonna need a 40, and that is a, oh, that's a 39, that's really close. Okay, so here's what we can do. I think if we do something like this and then put something like 100k, maybe 100k is a little bit too much honestly, but I'm just gonna do it. We could have done this through sacrificial NGs, but it's fine. That is a 41. Okay, 41 is absolutely perfect. So next up, I'm gonna go for the ninja. I'm gonna have the ninja behind this rock here in the top left. Hopefully it doesn't throw sticky projectiles. I think it won't, and we still just only need like a degree 1 on this guy as well for the camo detection buff. It's gonna be really necessary, I think, for these DDTs, because the summons from balloon areas are starting to become a lot more serious balloons. So let's go like this. Let me buy the ascended shadow, and then I think we can actually, now we're gonna keep this up. There goes the ninja paragon, by the way. So let's just check the buffs now. Yes, there we go. We get the camo detection buff, and if I, well, actually the boss is gonna appear in a second, so let's not use the overclock ability. But there's one more paragon to buy, and then we're gonna need to rebuy the attack as a stronger degree for the tier 5 boss. So let's see if this is gonna be enough now. Yeah, I can definitely notice, by the way, that we're using a degree 22 on the paragon, because even with all these buffs, you can definitely notice the lack of power within this paragon. So I'm just gonna keep using these abilities. We have another overclock incoming, but yeah, the boss is like almost coming on the bottom side of the tank paragon, which you can barely see, by the way. Let me overclock it again. While we're here, you guys know what we should do. We should probably buy the sub Paragon so that we can buy the Paragon power tokens actually for the tag, because they're gonna get absorbed. So let's buy the last one. This is gonna be the Nautic Siege Core, which we are gonna need to submerge actually as soon as it's up. So let's go like this. And let me click the tag and see if we're getting it. Oh no, we're not getting the buff. It's outside of the range. Oh, that sucks. Well, I guess we're gonna make sure that it's in range for the tier 5 because we're gonna be selling this guy anyways. But let me just keep placing these Paragon power tokens as everything is ongoing, because you know, just don't waste any rounds. We did waste a couple of rounds to be fair, but it's, you know, the sooner we get it the better. So Bloonarius, by the way, is kind of leaving the range of the tag, which goes to show that if we only had a degree 22 without any of these buffs, this would not have been happening. And this is, by the way, we even, you know, with the overclock and everything, he's still leaving the range. So I think it's safe to say that this tier 4 is only being made possible by the buffs that we currently have, which is kind of crazy. And then I think we can end it off with like the meteor. That's gonna be the final blow. Boom, there it is. It's almost the final blow. There it goes. Alright, there goes the tier 4. So it's a little bit of a late pop for sure, but we have almost everything, guys. And actually, I think we're ready to even sell everything that we have on screen, because I think we're getting much stronger than that when it comes to the cash sacrifices. I think we're about maxed out, honestly. So as soon as this bat pops, we're gonna need to do a couple of things actually. So Geraldo is gonna restock a Paragon power token, which is gonna be number 17. That is great. Alright, let's buy the tank Paragon. Let's see what degree we get. 830,000, and that's gonna be a pretty high degree. I'm pretty sure 74. That is amazing. Let me sell Geraldo. Let me sell the action figure. I've got a tech bot hooked up to this glue. This one is hooked up to the NG, so it automatically overclocks the tag Paragon. And guys, this is it. Let's see if we can actually do it. One other thing that we should probably do is we should probably hook up a tech bot to this tag Paragon actually, so that we don't have any downtime onto these abilities. Alright, let's see if we can actually do it. 40 million HP plus like I don't know, tens of millions I guess in summons HP, because these guys are very, very beefy. The majority of the damage is gonna get done in like 2 spots. Spot number 1 is like right now when Bloonarius is gonna be on top of the tag Paragon. So we're going into this part with like what he has like about 30, I guess 31 million HP. So let's see how much damage we can do while he's on top of the tag. This is gonna be it, guys. I mean, look at how crazy this thing is. And if you guys have used the Wizard and the Metamorphosis ability actually with the overclock, that is probably the strongest combo with the Paragons that you can do nowadays. We actually did try it last week on the 500% speed Bloonarius. It was insane, guys. It was really, really good. And I guess what we're doing here is kind of a light version of that. So Bloonarius is about to leave the range of the tag, and we did, how much damage is that? I mean, he's still kind of in range, but I think we did a solid 10 million HP worth of damage, so that's good. But here is where the sub Paragon is actually going to come in handy, because we're going to need some cooldown reduction on our abilities, because without the abilities we're not doing any damage to the boss. We're going to need the Super Maelstrom to be active, but we're also going to need to be launching meteors onto this boss. So I guess he's at about 20 million HP right now, and let's see how much damage we can do only by using these abilities before he comes back. It's not going down super fast, just to be clear. I mean, one more Super Maelstrom, one more meteor incoming, down to like 17 million HP. We're gonna need to keep proccing these skulls like as fast as possible, because the summons are actually annoying. Oh my god, this guy's so beefy though. 15 million HP left. Can we actually do it now that I think about this? I mean, it's looking, especially with these summons are being very, very annoying, because it's 45 bats and it's like around 129. But that's like, I guess we're dealing with these guys. Okay, so 2 more skulls. This is gonna be really important. I think one of the things that we should do is probably disconnect the tech bot that we have with the tag Paragon, because we might want to be sniping these 45 bats with the meteor ability. Alright, so this is going to be the point at which we are going to do, I guess, a lot of damage again. So the previous time we did about 10 million damage, and that's about the HP that this guy has now. So let's actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to disconnect this tech bot, because I want to be launching the meteor abilities manually. So he was set on strong, but I want to have him on first, and I want to launch the meteor ability at specific times, only versus these cults. So we have about 6.5 million HP left over, and I'm actually going to try and time the meteor ability so that we exclusively use it on the 45 bats. This is going to be the last cult, so as soon as these guys are out, let me use the Super Maelstrom ability, and as soon as they're out and they're landed on the track actually, which they are, I'm going to use the meteor ability, which I'm hoping to wipe actually all of these 45 bats, which it did. Alright, and now move this guy back to strong. We can actually hook the tech bot back, and I think we're going to do it, guys. 2 million HP left. How crazy is this? What an absolute banger banger of a combo this is. Look at this thing, like a million buffs going on attack paragon. We're actually gonna end it with a meteor. Of course we are. That was the best finish possible. And that was such a good game because everyone did their part. The extra attack speed, the extra cooldown reduction so that we can, you know, launch some abilities on the sides. And the attack paragon with 47.5 million pops actually does beat Elite Bloonarius by itself. That was really fun. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. So today I want to try something really fun. I want to get this cave monkey to as many pops as possible. Actually, I want to try and buff him up as much as possible, then we're gonna see how many pops it can get. And originally I was gonna go for like 1 million pops, but the thing is 1 million seems a little bit too much, so we're gonna aim for about 500,000 and we're gonna see how everything goes. So this guy is a pretty weak tower, honestly. I mean, he only has 1 damage if I remember correctly. He's got 5 pierce and he can pop lead balloons, like that's his thing. And also there he goes, by the way. So I started with the mortar just to kind of get him released as soon as possible, get these pops going. I want to get the pops thingy just because I want to have some sort of a twist with this, like we're not just having him on the field and just, you know, having him just keep attacking and not do anything. So we're gonna do the 500,000 pops and then we're gonna see how everything goes. But I also brought Pat Fusty. Pat is actually the only hero that can buff this guy. Well, not the only, I guess you could probably, I guess what I was trying to say is that I tried Ben. I tried getting Ben, and the thing is that the Ben level 3 ability doesn't work for some reason with this guy. It completely ignores it. So that's why I brought Pat, and Pat is a nice choice. I mean, they're both like these primal monkeys, along with the Dark Monkey actually. So I guess we're gonna unite the brothers and we're gonna see how much pops they can get. So I have big plans for this one. You're usually playing on Chips mode, but today we're not doing Chips mode. We're doing a normal hard game, but I went up to around 100 just so we can get these 500,000 pops, right? And what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be farming, so we need a lot of money for this one. And let me get this guy to 202. So getting the left farm to 202 and the right farm is going to be a bank. The bank is a little bit more expensive, it's 4.1k, but that's one of the, I guess when I did this I forgot to, the last time I did this I forgot to upgrade the left farm to the bottom path, which increases its sell price. But there we go, we got it, it's around 23. It's a little bit later than usual, but it's fine. We're gonna, I guess we should have the Minneapolis at like, what, the early 30s or something like that. That's basically it. I want to see how strong this guy is. This stun, by the way, also affects mob class balloons, so it's gonna be interesting because if we get that insane attack speed to this guy, that probably means that he's going to be able to, maybe he's not gonna be able to permastun these balloons, but it's gonna be damn close to that one. Actually, it might even be close to a permastun when we put all these things like the Sabos and the Moab glue and stuff like that. It should be pretty interesting. Okay, so we're gonna collect now from this bank 9,500, and that should be about right, I think. So it's gonna be 10,000 for this guy. It's going to be 3k for the Monkey City and then 5k for the upgrade itself. So I think we should be good to go. Actually, let me just watch round 35, see what happens. Get the Monkey Town in the meanwhile. I probably should have done this actually in the bottom just because we can get some extra money for it by popping these balloons, but that's fine. And actually, 8 lives, let's see how we do. So we're leaking, that's a yellow, that's gonna be 3 lives. It's super close, but I think I'm gonna take this. We're probably gonna need to defend actually. So here's what I want to do. Let's try and, actually, you know what, thinking about this, my maths is a little bit off, isn't it? It's 5,000. It shouldn't be 5,000, should it? Because it's hard mode. It should be more expensive. It should be, I think the last time it was 5.4k and now it's 5,000. What is happening? Okay, so a couple of things. I'm pretty sure you guys don't understand what's happening. But first off, I missed the mats. Like the mats was actually, let me just try and place this thing. So I'm placing the spike for the camos, by the way, because we do not have camo popping power. It's just the dart. But that guy isn't going to do anything versus these guys. So a couple of things. First off, the mats is a little bit off. Second off, we're leaking, so I should probably get, I'm gonna get a Drit. 030, go, go, go. And that's barely enough. Okay, so I missed the mats a little bit. It was supposed to be 5.4 on the Monkeyopolis upgrade, but that's the second issue. The first issue is that I bought the 200 farm, and that is completely useless because you don't do that for the new Minneapolis. So there's a starting value of 2,500, and whether or not you buy the 200, it doesn't matter because the production is gonna be the same. So what I'm trying to say is that should not have been a 200 farm, and I kind of caught it late. But yeah, let's just go. Let's sell this guy, and then let's see how much this thing. 5,000. Why did it cost 5,000? It should have been more than 5k, I think. That's fine. Okay, it doesn't matter. So $270. We got the Minneapolis. It's a little bit later than usual, but I think we can kind of stabilize now and buy some other stuff and finally start defending. So let's try and buff this guy. I'm gonna get the Berserker Boot. It's gonna be a 3-2-0, and I only want this guy to buff the Cave Monkey, nothing else. I don't want all these pops going to Pat. Pat is going to get moved later on. I have a plan for him. We're gonna get a Chinook. These guys are a nice combo, aren't they, though? Because this guy is stunning the Moab and then Pat is pushing him back. So this is gonna be super easy, I guess, for the 50s as well, right? It's such a nice combo. And the ability doesn't reach. No, so okay. So the ability doesn't reach. I mean, I used it a couple of times, but I didn't notice. But it doesn't reach. So the Cave Monkey needs to be moved 100%. And Pat is going to get moved anyways. But let's see how we do versus these ceramics. It's 45 ceramics in the normal ones. Now on 47. Yeah, these guys are not struggling versus this. Yeah, they don't care. It's going to be interesting to see how they do in the 50s. The 50s should be a little bit more of a challenge just because it's going to be more ceramics, it's going to be more Moabs, but I feel like these guys are going to be a nice combo with the stun and everything. I also want to get the Alchemist to 4-2-0 and then an Overclock eventually, but first off, I think we should just focus on the farming, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be getting this guy to 4-2-0, the farm up top. And then we're gonna chill. But 49, okay, so this is one of the more interesting rounds, I guess, for the mid game, because we're defending using only it's Pat and it's the Cave Monkey, and he does like 2 damage per shot. Let's see how he does. I mean, just as I say that, to be fair, that was mostly Pat's work, because Pat is also, he's getting attack speed and we use the ability. But yeah, okay, so 50s. Let's see how we do versus these Moabs. I should probably have Pat on strong, by the way, but because he's kind of our main popping power for now, he should probably remain on first. So let's see how we do. Yeah, that Moab is leaking. Should I do something about that? Is it gonna pop? Am I doing something about it? Let's see if we can get a knockback. No, we popped it, but that's 4 ceramics. Okay, I'm gonna get a Druid. I'm gonna get a, I think it's gonna be a 302 Druid up there. Good job. So we handled that one, and look at this guy. It's just a little bit of RNG, isn't it? It's just, if you hit the RNG, the Moab is gonna get knocked, and if you don't, then it's just not, it's gonna leak. Okay, I lied. I got the Overclock. I mean, things were starting to get really close, because these guys, apparently having a Cave Monkey and just Pat Fusty is not exactly enough to hold off a bunch of Moabs and ceramics. Relying on RNG is not the play. So I had to, I guess, I'm not sure how much this thing is helping. I guess it's helping a little bit, just kind of setting the balloons up so that Pat can knock them back, giving him more time. And imagine that thing going crazy. Imagine when we get the Ultra Boost, we give him 10 stacks. That's gonna be insane. But yeah, getting the Wall Street now, so we're kind of stabilizing with the money. And I don't think I'm gonna farm anymore, actually, because we are on around 60. And we need to start thinking about the pops, because we're still doing the pops challenge. I haven't forgot about that one. Let's see how we do versus this BFB. He's gonna stun the BFB as well, by the way. I think it's just a shorter stun. And yeah, these guys are just going to town on this BFB. So we need some knockbacks from Pat, and we're kind of getting them. Let's use the ability. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. I mean, blues just leak, and then you can't do anything about it. That's not a strategy. And I should probably be getting a glue now, because we have some interesting rounds coming up. It's going to be 61 is not actually an interesting round. 62 is it's kind of somewhat, because we're gonna have 45 Moabs, and then 63 is gonna be the juicy one. I want to see what happens in 63. So yeah, we're not getting knockbacks, by the way. So what am I doing for this one? Oh, let me do this. Let me get the heli now. Let me get the support Chinook. It's time to start thinking about moving the Cave Monkey. And since we are kind of done with farming, this is the portion of the game where we're going to start thinking about just having the buffs and, you know, setting everything up where we want it to be and stuff like that. So let me just move Pat first. Pat is going to go up. Nah, he's gonna go there. I was thinking for a second to move him on the left side, but he's gonna go up there, and then the Cave Monkey is gonna be on the bottom. And so the idea is, let me just see how we do versus these 45s first. We're getting some knockbacks. We are getting some really nice knockbacks there. Holy, that's 5 knockbacks. I counted 6 in total. Oh my god, he went to town. Okay, let's watch 63. Let's see what happens. This is 5 Pierce, actually like 7 Pierce, 8 Pierce actually, 8 Pierce going to town, 8 Pierce and 2 damage going to town with an Overclock. And they are, I mean, if they're defending this, it's gonna be thanks to Pat, and I think that they kind of defended the first wave, but I can see the entire second wave move, so we need to do something. That's the entire second wave. I'm gonna buy a Druid, I'm gonna buy I guess it's gonna be a Tornado again. I should get the Ball Lightning though, I think. Yeah, I can see the third wave as well. Let's get the ball lightning. Let's get the 402. Yeah, these guys are really not. I mean, this is going to be a fun challenge later on. Okay, let me check the pops on the Cave Monkey now. It is at 14,000 and Pat is at 61 almost. So we need to get going. Let me move the Cave Monkey where the dart is. I want to kind of have him in this spot, and I think this is like the perfect in-game spot. At least until we find the spot where he can still get buffed by Pat. But I don't want to have Pat attack the balloons, which are, you guys see where the rainbows are, so I don't want Pat attacking there. I mean, he cannot attack small balloons, but when the BFBs come and the ZOMGs, I think he is going to be able to reach, and I don't want that. And also, Pat is at like level 10 now, and there was this level, I think it was level 14 or something like that, where his Rallying Roar's range increases. So it's a little bit of the waiting game, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. See, he reaches the BFBs and he's gonna take away a lot of the pops from the Cave Monkey. Okay, let me get the Energizer and let's see how we do versus 75. So 75 is one of those rounds that can kind of cause a little bit of an issue just because they're stacked BFBs. And so these stacked BFBs, I guess the problem, especially for a tower like the Cave Monkey, since he doesn't have a lot of peers by himself, I think that's going to be a main issue. So let's just use everything, and we have Pat's ability still. I'm going to use it in a second, and let's see how we do versus these guys. Look at the knockback go. I mean, that's so funny. I should also be buying the Glue Storm, so I'm going to get going on that one, but let's use the... Do we do the glue now? Okay, I'm going to save the glue just because I want to have it for 75, but let me do the Homeland and Pat's ability. And let's see how we're doing on this one. Yeah, so I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, when he's attacking this fast, I don't think around like 75 is going to matter. But let me use this and let's see what we do versus these regrow ceramics. This should be a fun one. Let me ultra boost him. Path ability is coming up in a second. Are we gonna need it though? I don't know. Let's use it and let's watch the pops. 63, 64. I mean, it's kind of going fast, and he took care of it. I mean, let's be real. He took care of this entire round with a little bit of help, but that's expected. Okay, so let me get the Super Bill. Next, we are going to. I guess I want to have it outside the range of the village just because I want to have it at Jungle Drum. So let me check the pops on the Cave Monkey actually. So he's at 160,000, and this Super Bill is gonna be absorbing pops. Yeah, look at that, 4,000. How much does Pat have? Let me check Pat. 170,000 on Pat and 113 on the Permaroo. That is insane. So the Cave Monkey hasn't even caught up to Pat yet. This Super Bill, it just keeps absorbing so many pops. 27,000. It just did like 27,000 pops in one round. This guy is gonna go ham. But yeah, we need to have him. We need a little bit of damage amplifying. This works on Moab class balloons. It's the one that we're not going to be having. I also moved Pat, as you guys can see in the water. I was trying to see if the ability can reach from there, but it doesn't. So we're just going to move to the old spot. I mean, it is what it is. We have to have it here. And the ZOMGs, by the way, I kind of missed that one, but the ZOMG is actually getting stunned. So this guy is completely insane. He can perma-stun ZOMGs. I mean, to be fair, he's super buffed, but he is absolutely 100% perma-stunning. Yeah, there you go, you can see that. And the pad ability reaches, so I think this might be... I might want to move him a little bit to the... I want to push the limits of this one. Let's see how much to the left can we go. Because I want to have him starting the attacks a little bit earlier so that these balloons don't go into the range of Pat, so Pat doesn't attack. Okay, so we're gonna need to get going on some other stuff as well. So after we got the Energizers up, I think we need to start making the most use out of these cooldowns. So let me just get 2 Sabos. I think 2 is gonna be fine. And I also want to get the Absolute Zero. So usually I think you would want to get 3 Sabos to have 100% uptime. But I think because we have the Energizer, 2 is going to be fine for 100%. Or if it's not 100, like it's going to be super close to 100% uptime. And then I want to get the Absolute Zero. And the reason why, I guess you guys might have seen this Absolute Zero into Mega Pops runs. And the reason why people get it is because the Permafrost upgrade actually applies to Moab class balloons. So what happens is you click the ability, it affects all the Moab class balloons, and then when the ice stops or when the ability wears off, they're still walking, I think it was like 20% slower or something like that. Okay, round 90, let's see how we do versus the first ZDTs. I think it's gonna melt them, honestly. I think it's just gonna collapse. Yeah, it perma-stuns ZDTs as well, but let's use the Absolute Zero anyways. And yeah, wait for them to come in range actually. And yeah, this is... I don't think the DDs are going to be even close. So I guess what's going to be the problem in getting... in just kind of finishing our challenge is just the Pierce, right? Because it doesn't have a lot of Pierce. It's at... Oh, it's 262,000. Okay, that is ways off. Can we even get this thing? I think it's just the pierce. It doesn't have a lot of pierce, and we need to give it time. And honestly, a lot of these pops are going to be taken away from other towers just because there's no way to kind of have these, you know, these damage amplifiers or pad without them attacking. So I want to have them buffing it but not attacking, and I don't think that's the thing, and especially not now when I'm getting the temple actually. Okay, round 94, and we need to play this round as disciplined as possible. So I'm going to, let's use all the abilities. And let's use the homeland, and then as soon as the homeland ends, I'm gonna go for the call to arms. So it's gonna be about 3/4 of the way there, so I'm kind of ready, and it's gonna expire now. So get the call to arms, and I guess get the other Sabo going. We have, and the homeland is up again. So as soon as the call to arms ends, let's just keep clicking these buttons. So let's use the homeland again. It's having all of these UMGs in place. I mean, the pops are going. We're definitely getting some pops, but let's check in a second how many pops we have. But let's be disciplined about these abilities. I don't want to lose this. I mean, we've gone so far. Let's not lose this. It's at 360,000 pops. So we need a lot more, guys. I'm not sure if this is even happening. We need 130,000 more, so that is like almost like 2/3 of the way there. And we're gonna need a little bit. Well, it's actually not. It's a little bit more than that, but yeah. So 300,000 pops on the ice. This ice is taking so many pops, it's insane. So let me get the spike factory. It's gonna be a millipede spike that I'm gonna sacrifice for the support temple. Let's sell those guys. Let's upgrade the carpet spikes, and that should be enough money for the temple as well. Yeah, there we go. 109,000. Let's get super range, and it is absolutely not in range. We're gonna need more range, but let's use the abilities versus 95. See how we do. I clicked everything. I panicked. There's the CTA as well, but that's fine. But yeah, let's just have this guy keep bonking these. It's still not in range. I forget the village though. Is he gonna be in range? Yes, it is. Okay, finally. So finally, this guy's at max power, 380,000 pops. Yeah. Okay. So 96 again, a huge RBE round. And let's see how we're gonna do on this one. So let's use the Sabo again. I'm gonna try and be disciplined with these abilities because we're missing a lot of pops. Like 120,000. We only have like a handful of rounds to complete this, just because around 100 there's nothing to do around 100. This guy does not stun bats, and yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So let's just keep using these abilities. I'm not gonna try and ration the ultra boost. He's kind of keeping them at bay, which is what I'm trying to achieve with these abilities. So as long as Pat and the temple are not attacking, which is exactly what I'm trying to do, as long as he's just bonking them, that should be fine. Although the super bill is taking a lot of pops, especially when the shards fly out, but that's fine. As long as these guys are not attacking, they're super strong. Pat and the temple, we're fine. We're completely fine. Yeah, look at this thing go. 448,000. So we just got like, what is it, like 60,000 pops in just a few rounds. I think it's gonna be around 98. This one doesn't have a lot of RB. It's just that these guys are super beefy, so we're not gonna get a lot of things done on this one. But 98 is the last chance that we have to beat this challenge. Okay, 458,000 pops, which means that we need 42,000 pops to finish the challenge. So again, I'm trying to keep them away from the temple and from Pat. That's the main issue. As long as these goons don't come near them, as long as those don't start attacking, which I guess it's gonna happen eventually, but I just want to delay that as much as possible. So when this homeland ability ends, let's just get ready with let's use the absolute zero and then get ready with the call to arms, which is now 480,000. Keep it going a little bit more. We're almost there. 480. Let's go. I think we can do this. I think there's a bunch of balloons left actually. I think we have this. Let's use the Sabo, and again, everything is being kept in place. Look at that, 490,000. I mean, the fact that I think that the placement that I have for this guy was super nice actually, because everything is kind of at a distance. Pat is not attacking. I mean, we can't exactly stop Pat from attacking, but it was a nice spot. Yeah, there it is, 500,000 pops. So we did it, and it was just as round 98 ended. So it was actually kind of close when you think about it. I mean, it's only like, what is it gonna be, like 15,000 pops off? Yeah, those are very hard to get with this guy, with a town that's got like very limited damage. So let me just buy these guys. So let's start moving the cave monkey around the map. That's why I bought these extra Chinooks. I mean, the cooldown is kind of low, but we kind of need them all the time. So let's just keep moving him. Let's go at the bottom here. He's not gonna be doing that much damage to me. Let's be honest with this one. He does like 2 damage, but it's 2 damage with I guess the super build, which is buffing it a little bit. It's more like 7 damage plus. I guess this is a time where, should I just sell the glue storm and get the other one? I mean, we did the challenge, but yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna leave it like that. Let's just keep moving this guy. Let's have Yeah, let's have him here on this island. And that should be the last one. Let's use all of the abilities. What's coming up next? So CTA, Roar, no point because he's outside of the range. And yeah, as soon as this thing pops, we have the absolute 0 on the Sabo. So like right now, DTs are gone. And yeah, no point to use Pat's ability. Let's move Pat though. So there is a point to using Pat's ability. So I can do that. I should have done this a little bit earlier. I just remembered. But yeah, this is absolutely gonna pop, and there we go, we did it. 500,000 pops with a super mega ultra boosted cave monkey, and he's actually not even the first one. It's the ice 527,000. Okay, so this guy didn't even do that much damage to the bat. I mean, he did fine, but it wasn't like he did anything important. 229 on Pat, and this guy is the MVP actually, 538,000. So these guys are very close to each other, but yeah, Spike Factory, just the initial pops at the start of the game, and then it's all the Cave Monkey and the Ice, which did a lot of damage. But that's it. Cave Monkey, super good. I guess Service Tower is super good when you super buff it, but that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.